I'm here live this morning with Doru.
Morning. Hi everyone.
It's Monday morning, really miserable one in Derby. Hope it's a bit nicer where you are. But that shouldn't put a stop to proceedings here, should it?
No, it shouldn't.
And just to recap, we've got your test on Friday.
Yep.
We've got a lesson every day this week.
Yep.
4 hours a day. We're going to record everyone. So thank you to all of the Go-To Driving School patrons. And your donations made through Patreon to make this possible. When we met up last time, how did it go?
Well,
for the first time.
For the first time, yeah. I mean, it was good. I thought I could have done better, to be honest. I was talking about myself personally. I thought I was a bit rusty. I had to get accustomed to the car. I thought I was being overcautious on the roads because, like I said, I haven't driven in a while. Last time being in Uxbridge when I failed my driving test, unfortunately, as I said in the previous episode, so to speak. But I feel more comfortable now. Matt recommended a few videos to look over before coming to this lesson today, which I found very useful because on his channel you have various videos that will be able to help you think before coming to the lesson what you can improve on, based on your own driving experience, which I think is very useful. You want to come to your lessons thinking about, okay, what do I want to improve next time, because you don't want to waste your time or your instructor's time. At the end of the day, it's all about, well, if for some people at least, it's about saving money as well. So getting you to think about what you want to do before coming to a lesson, I think is very useful, because then you're in a mindset to do better every time, which I think is very useful.
Good advice there, yeah, definitely. And that's what the site's for. It works really well for my own learners. I suppose even better for the people who are learning with me, because they're hearing the same as they hear on the video, so it all comes together. So I give you a lesson reflection sheet last time.
Which is essentially contains, well, last time's goals, what went well, areas for improvement, and the goals for next session. So for last time's goals, I wrote as meeting Matt, getting used to the car. What went well, in my opinion, I wrote that Matt is very observant, puts a lot of effort and thinking into each lesson / video, and I just thought it was a bit funny. I didn't cause an accident, so
it's always a bonus. So, especially on a Thursday night. I think it was raining last time.
It was not as much as today, but it was good. It was all right. Areas of improvement for myself: clutch control, getting used to the car when parking as well, with regards to the pavement, so reference points, which is a video that I saw before that you recommended, and I saw before I came to this lesson today. Goals for today's session: I set to master clutch control and moving off using the gas pedal or the accelerator, essentially, because I have an old habit of using clutch and the brake pedal, essentially, whereas it's a very effective way to just use both clutch and getting the clutch to biting point, and then getting your revs up to, well, you said for this car 1200 revs, and using the gas pedal at the same time. So in order for you to not lose any time, so it comes back to your POM method, which is prepare, observe, move. So you would prepare instead, so by that, as in putting your car in the right gear, you'd do your observations, the 6 points, and then you'd move off. When you think you've done your observations, you're safe to go, you're off. So yeah. And before next session, as in before today's, I looked at MSM, MS, PSL videos and other go-to driving school videos, and I did a bit of self-analysis of my own driving skills, which I think I've already just described. So yeah.
Fantastic. So you've really been doing your homework, haven't you?
Yeah.
Good stuff. Remembering prepare, observe, move. That was we looked at that.
Last time,
we sort of not went back to basics last lesson, but we kind of addressed things that maybe you could have benefited from with your own previously with the other instructors. You did about 30 hours with the other instructor.
Yeah, I did.
You could have benefited from those little routines, couldn't you? And
like I said, I mean, sorry to interrupt you.
No,
it's what I realized, compared, because the last one was an AA driver, so it's a very famous school. I realized that by having these videos and having a look at yourself or others drivers, you kind of, like I said, it makes you think about what you can improve on, and that's what it's all about. Just making you think about what you can improve, what you could have done better, because sometimes you just go for your lesson and you think, oh, I've done it right, but then next time you come in, you have another lesson, or a few more consecutive lessons, and you feel like you haven't improved. But when you start thinking about it, then I think you actually improve, because that's what it's all about, you know. So
fantastic. Okay, so we've got the goal set. Then we're going to go off and master this clutch control and gas work in conjunction with each other.
Yeah.
So basically, just to bring everybody up to speed on the camera, we discovered this last lesson. I'm glad it's at the forefront of your mind today as well. Basically, we're going to be getting to the junctions. We're going to pause at the lines, and then if we still can't see, we're going to edge, but we're not going to edge with the clutch up and then the other foot stopping the car with the brake while the foot's still on the clutch. It's going to be left foot on the clutch, right foot on the gas, up to go with the clutch, down to slow, up to go, down to slow, up to go, down to slow, gas on the whole time. Yeah, so that's and using plenty of it every time, even if we're not going to edge, but every time we move off. So you remember last lesson we said you've got to be a bit more thorough with the revs, so it's a bit like revs on, not revs on. You know what I mean? Like it's got to be quite thorough, because then the clutch can be more efficient in the way it lifts up, and we can get going and we can get to second gear quicker, and so on and so on. So I think if we get that mastered, that's going to be really, really useful for everything else we do.
I've talked a lot. Let's just see if I can actually put it into action.
Let's do that. All right, so anything you want me to help you with regarding that?
No, I think for me, I mean, I have it in my head. It's just putting it to practice, like I said. So like you said, you know, clutch up. If I wanna slow down, I'll put it down, and then when I get it to biting point, you know, revs up to, well, for this car about 1200, I would say, yeah, just you know, actually putting it into practice.
Fantastic, good stuff. We talked about the dangers of using both pedals last time, didn't we? So we won't go over that again unless we need to. All right, so you ready?
Yeah, I think so.
Good stuff. Let's do it.
So,
okay, yeah. So we're going to drive on.
So first,
when
prepare.
You're ready. Yeah. If we can go over that routine again, Pom, prepare, observe, and move.
So prepare, put it into first gear. Then do my observation starting from left-hand side, blind spot, left mirror, center mirror, forward, right mirror, blind spot, and biting point. There you go.
So if you prepare first now, you know, like your feet are now, and then do what you just did. Do you remember the benefits of doing it that way? That's being fully prepared.
Fully prepared, yeah, that's true.
Do you remember the benefits, Doru?
Well, essentially, you wouldn't move out. You wouldn't, if you prepare last, then you wouldn't be able to observe again, and you might, you know, cause a hazard.
Yeah, that's it.
So you want to have your feet. That's true.
Feet and hands.
Yep.
Yeah.
So here you go, biting point.
Okay. Try and have the revs on first before you get to bite, just like you would at the junction, because it's all the same stuff.
There you go.
That's it. Good. So your hands and feet now are prepared.
So now.
Yep. Okay. Good stuff. Well done. Nice. How'd that feel?
Yeah, it's actually quite right.
All right, Doris. So we're going to take the left turn at the end of this road.
All right.
Fantastic. Good mirrors. Signal timing.
So now, put a biting point.
What are you going to do first, though?
Well, I already looked through the left mirror, right, and I guess I should have been looking through the right mirror and my right-hand side blind spot, right?
You know, when you're here, all you need to do is look right and left down the road.
That's all.
If you've been here for a significant amount of time, you might decide to check the right and left door mirror and behind, but it's not as a routine as such.
So if I spend more time, then I would use my handbrake.
Yes, but if you start worrying about all that, because you've just checked these on approach, that's why we do it on approach. We want to know what's behind us coming down, and if there's any bikes that could catch up on the left. Now you've left a little bit of a gap there.
Ooh.
There's nothing behind us, so just pop the clutch down, and that'll stop the car wanting to make the tyres move forward. So we want to try and keep with that curve a bit more. All right, as well. We want to steer with that curve. Now the reason we didn't, I believe, is because you're looking to the right too long. It needs to be right, left, scanning, and don't forget forward as well, because there could be a car coming out the driveway and stuff, so, or a car turning right in front of you. More important if you're turning right, but there you go.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
So I would just.
So before, whoa, keep that clutch on the floor.
Yeah. Okay.
Off the brake.
Fine.
And we're going to set the revs before we even lift that clutch.
That's true. Here you go, old habit. Well,
that's it. So I'll help you if I feel you need it, yeah? But otherwise I'll leave it to you. So what do you need to hear before you lift that clutch? You need to hear it.
The revs.
Yeah.
So, let's see,
Good. And while you're doing that, don't look too much at this. Try and look at your road so you know what to tell your feet to do.
So now it looks like a good opportunity.
Okay. And is there any cyclists catching up in this triangular shape on the left between us and the curb? Because there could be, couldn't there, after all that time. So it's just, you decide whether to go, and just as you're about to, quick glance in here.
Okay.
Yeah?
Fair enough. Yeah. So
just to make sure it is still safe.
there you go.
That's it. And keep the revs on throughout the whole thing. Keep them on, more revs. It doesn't mean your clutch lifts faster or anything else, it's just you'll tend to find the car will sort of move without much clutch lift. Good work with the mirrors there for the new road, and we'll take the next road on the left.
Alright.
Good stuff. Stay in second. Stay in second.
Stay in
Leave
second.
the clutch up. Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah. We're a bus behind us, and if we slow down, he
It'll
wouldn't
be too much.
He would. Yeah, he wouldn't expect it. So, do you remember why we said we turn in second, generally speaking, and we emerge out in first, generally?
I actually don't.
Do you want to pull over and go over it?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Pull up on the left at a safe place, please, along this road.
Alright.
Anything coming down behind us? Do we need to reconfirm the signal, or in front?
There's nothing coming from
Pop a left on for that one. You could
Ah,
want to
okay.
go in that driveway there.
I see
You
what
could
you
do.
mean. I
Might
see.
not.
Okay, well I'm not technically speaking parallel to the driving, so I'll just go a bit forward.
Okie dokie.
There you go. And stuff back here.
Mhm. Good stuff.
So good.
All right. Do you remember what we said last week about your parking when you're coming into park? A couple of things you don't need to do, or should do.
Actually,
We've ended up lovely here. Don't get me wrong, but the delivery of it could have been different. Anything else, it could have been a bit.
well, in terms of, well, I would say I would have to look at. So in terms of me parking, I would have to take half the dashboard as the reference point. So that's one thing I remember in terms of when parking. But before parking, I would obviously have to check my mirrors. So I would check left, well, center, left, and I guess right mirror as well, because I never know what can come from behind me. And I cannot think of anything at this moment in time.
Okay, you're doing all that stuff good there, and we've actually parked in a reasonable place as well. To be honest, so it's none of that really. All it is you didn't need to brake. You could have just, you know, when you braked and you put clutch down in first. What you should have done was just gone. Go on then. What?
I would just put my clutch fully down, or first brake and then put my clutch, and then once I'm parked, I'm you know, happy with the way I position my car, then switch to first gear rather than do it as soon as I as I slow down.
Yeah, straight into neutral when you stop. You will need first, because you want to use the car's current forwards momentum back there to roll into your parking space. So clutch is on the floor. You're controlling the roll via the foot brake. And you know, so left foot's down, right foot's on and off, kind of, not on and off, but sort of gauging it. Steer on, steer off, and just. So if you feel like you're going to stop before you've positioned, that's when I come off the brake and let the car roll to its own stop. You know, rather than going first gear and having to start again. If you park like that and there's a car behind, it won't expect you to just suddenly go. You know, 'cause you need the extra brake to get first gear, just do it smooth anyway. Cars behind won't expect that, so it could be quite dangerous when pulling in. Now, when you test, you're going to be asked to pull in at a minimum of 3 times. Sometimes as many as like up to 6 and stuff like that. So that's something to think about, isn't it?
Okay. So the idea is that when I stop, I would, you know, brake. I wouldn't concern myself with switching into first gear from second, for instance, or from third.
Not unless you need to.
Yeah. And then once I position my car, using the the gas pedal, the brake pedal, and then slightly the gas pedal, just to keep my revs up, so that the engine doesn't switch off. Only then I would put the clutch down, put it into first gear, clutch up, and is that correct?
Yeah. That's, well, you wouldn't put the clutch. You wouldn't bring the clutch back up because you're parking. Clutch up means you're in drive. You're in drive mode, and
that's true.
What it could do if you bring the clutch up is it could make the car go. When the engine braking kicks in and it sort of slows down rapidly.
Yeah.
Because imagine sometimes you'd be pulling up on busy roads, cars behind, so you want the speed to be as reduced as smoothly and as gradually and as seamlessly as possible.
Let me rephrase that. When I park in brake, just a bit of gas, and then once I'm happy with where I position, then I don't put it into first, I'll put it into neutral, and then I would...
Yes.
Rather than...
Is that what you meant?
Yeah, my fault.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I just don't want to... it's easy for me to just agree in it, and just, but I want us to be absolutely clear with each other as to... I want to give you the best chance, basically, at understanding everything, and then you'll pass easy. Right, just a quick one. It'll click in as soon. I think I did this for your last lesson. Right, when you get to the end of a road, you probably aren't going to be able to see nothing. So we get to the line and we start slow. Well, we need first gear to be able to look right and to be able to look left. Plus we've got giveaway lines there. There's probably hedges and walls and houses and everything else that's blocking it here. So you have to get down to... So basically you have to slow down to have a look.
True.
Because you slow down, you simply match your gear to that speed, don't you?
Yeah.
And that's it, you know. You slow down because you can't see. Now on the approach to a turn, so that's turning right, but it's the same thing. We did the turn left last. So turning left, probably from about here, you can already see. So there's you. This line represents your zone of vision.
Yeah.
You can already see in the road. Look, you're passing singular lines. You're staying on your own side of the road. You've only got to make sure this guy ain't turning, but you've got priority anyway, of course. So that's why we use second on these ones and get the clutch back up before we turn. And let's say there's the point to turn there where the curbs peel away. The curb peels away left. If you bring the clutch back, or if it's already up, leave it up. But if you're going from fourth to second or third to second, the clutch should be up about here. So you've got engine braking as you turn in. What's the danger in going first gear here and clutch up?
Well, you would just slow down even further and someone can smack you in the back.
Yeah, they wouldn't expect it as well. It's a major, not major, but it's classed as a major. You're turning from major to minor, the big bus behind us there, and so that's why I instructed you not to do what you was going to do. Because we'd have slowed down and...
It was unnecessary.
It would have been you. So does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense.
Would you like me to give you instruction? Not instruction. Reminders if I feel you forget going forwards.
Go ahead. Yeah, of course.
Or I can just remind you anyway. What would you prefer?
I'll tell you what. Well, looking at the junction ahead, I would definitely have to. Well, if we're turning left or right, in this case, I would assume there's a giveaway line, so I would have to be in first gear. But if I would be driving on a main road, turning into a side road where there is not such a narrow angle of turning, then I would use second gear, right? Whereas if it's the junction that we passed just now, which didn't have a narrow angle, then I would go in second gear. I think it's fine. Whenever you think that I'm gonna be correct, then you can tell me. Yeah,
okay.
I don't mind.
Good stuff. And the parking then going forwards, do you want me to help you with remember what not to do? And
yeah, fine. We can do it once and then another time, and then we'll see the other time maybe without instructions.
Cool. Yeah, sounds like a plan, because hopefully you're going to feel and see the benefits from the extra guidance, and then that's going to stick because of the improvements.
The way I learn is I have to do it, even though I've been told I do it once I master it, I got it into my head. It's just linking the theory with the practical.
Yes. Okay. Good stuff. All right then. So let's
use the POM method then.
Yeah, let's do that. So I'll leave that to you, shall I?
Yeah.
Raring to go.
So, first gear. There you go. Now,
another sideways glance just there. Okay, good. Just because there was an extra pause, but that's by far the best one you've done there. That was really good. Did that feel quite efficient to you?
Yeah, it was actually.
I like the fact you went back in your mirror just as you turn right, sorry, at the end.
We're turning right?
Right, yeah, please.
Okay.
Look left. See what I mean? That's the first time you've looked left there. And when you look left, you'll see you're not quite at the giveaway lines.
That's true.
So that's a problem, that people that don't scan the road, they're always shy of the giveaways.
There we go.
So don't forget, you shouldn't be on that brake, we should be on the revs. And we should be balancing a bite. Revs on the whole time. Keep them on.
Yeah.
Keep them on. Don't be shy with them. Fantastic.
Right. That's true. There you go.
So which 2 mirrors for the new road?
It will be center right.
Good. And is there anything at the side that the centre isn't showing?
Well, it wouldn't be showing the blind spot, so which is why I'm checking the right mirror.
Okay. Remember, the right mirror won't show you the blind spot, but it will show you what's coming up at the side.
Sure.
Yeah. I think you would check the blind spot if you've been paused for a while and there's reason to believe there could be something at the side of you. So we're going to take the next road on the right. Can you see it? It's not that far away. See the lines on the floor here? Don't take that.
Yeah.
Don't take that one now.
Yeah, it's a bit too late. Sorry.
That's fine. We'll take the next one. It's just after the bus stop there, where the white car appeared. Okay. So
Yeah.
next right, please, Doru. Lovely there. Absolutely perfect. Yeah, no worries. Good stuff. Now, I would like us to pull up on the left between the red van and the red car.
Okay.
All right. So just clutch down, let it roll, keep the hands on the wheel, keep it rolling until you're happy with your positioning.
Actually.
Left signal on if something appears. It's alright, don't worry now, it's gone.
Sorry, it was a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, so as you're doing that, you're going to have more capacity to think about other things because you're not messing around with the gears, hopefully, and
That was
stuff.
good for me. Yeah.
Did that feel better, easier?
When you put it in, yeah, I can take it.
Was that a bit easier, maybe?
It was, yeah. The instructions, although I have them in my head, but you telling me kind of reassured me, so yeah, better.
Cool. I won't say it again then if you're happy with that.
Yeah.
Absolutely fine with that.
I'd rather do it again, and then if you find any fault, just tell me, and
Yeah.
we'll take it from there.
Good stuff. So, do you feel like we're already making progress in terms of your goal?
Honestly, yeah, I feel much better in terms of my clutch control. It's a bit, it might sound, basic for some people, but the fact that, I can, put the clutch up and then use the revs instead of braking my old technique is so much easier to move off when I'm at the junction. So yeah, definitely see a benefit.
Had you been made aware of this before with your training?
Honestly, I do not remember. Maybe I was, maybe I wasn't, but at that point we weren't on good terms with my instructor, so I didn't really care, to be blunt.
Because you was learning in a petrol, weren't you?
Yeah.
So I think you'd remember it. If you've learnt from petrol from the beginning, you'd know. It's part of your thing where you use the gas first. I know that because I meet people who have learnt in petrols who aren't necessarily as good as you, but as at the point you are, but they still set the gas because they've been taught that from the beginning. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, but that's cool. All right then. So let's get plenty of junctions under our belt. What do you need to do with your observations?
In this case, or in general?
When you approach a T-junction to emerge out from.
In a T-junction.
Your observations on approach to turn into back here just was perfect.
Okay. Well, it depends. Where am I gonna go? Left or right? Okay.
Left or right.
Okay, fine. So if I will be going left, before I approach a junction, I would look into my center mirror and then right mirror to see if there's anyone overtaking me. That'll be my first approach. Then.
What about just as you're looking to go?
As am I looking to go?
Yeah.
As in looking to turn left or right? Or what do you mean by
left or right?
Okay, if I will be looking left, if I'll be turning left, I guess the first thing I will do is center left because I want to see if there's someone coming from my left. But if I have the time, well, I should have the time because I should do it in time.
Yeah.
Before I get to the junction, I will check my right mirror just to make sure there's no one overtaking me. Also, whilst I'm doing that, I would make sure that I have my car in the right gear. So if I'm a third gear going down a hill, for instance, and if there's a sharp angle or sharp turn, then I would probably go into first gear. So I'll make sure before I get to I would say about 2 cars length before the stop line, I'll put my car into first gear, have my clutch up, and I would do that at the same time as looking in the mirrors, I would assume.
Okay.
So that when I approach the junction, I'm prepared to stop and do another observation, right or left, before I commence turning left or right.
Okay. I'm glad I asked you that. I think you got
a few things confused.
Maybe I could have said the question a bit clearer. Basically, all I wanted from you was, when I get to the junction, I'm going to be looking right, forward, left, left, forward, right, right, forward, left, left, forward, right.
I see.
So I'm
Double checking.
So I'm optimising my road position. I'm at the lines, and I know where I'm positioned in relation to the mouth of the junction.
I see.
Whether I'm, you know, if I'm turning left, I want to be with the curb.
Okay.
But that was interesting that you said that, because it did uncover something.
Go on.
And that was that you said when you go into first gear, you're going to lift the clutch back up. You know, you're going to go 2 car lengths or something from the lines into first gear and lift the clutch back up.
What I mean by that is you want your engine braking before you get to the stop line, right? So that's what I meant by keeping your clutch up.
Okay. What that means though is that you're in go mode there. So clutch up in first gear, the minimum that it'll be is 5 mile an hour.
Okay, fair enough.
Unless you're braking on top of it.
Okay.
In which case, if you are, the car will be going, it'll start rumbling and it wants to stall basically. It'll be doing that method that you were doing, clutch up and braking. So you tell it to go, you're telling it to stop.
Okay.
So what we do, 2 car lengths back from the giveaway lines, roughly, depends on the road and how fast you were travelling. Let's say 2, if it's 1, great. Or at the line if you're even quicker and more experienced. Clutch down, first gear, keep clutch down.
Okay.
Just like you're parking here.
Okay.
Keep clutch down, feather the foot brake to the desired speed, whatever that desired speed is, based on what you can and can't see.
Okay.
Then you're not going to feel like you're going, the car's pulling you to go, so you're not going to feel like going on the foot brake. That's going to buy you time while the clutch is still on the floor to set the revs, get to the bite point, keep looking whilst you're doing that, don't look at the rev counter, and off we go. It's clear.
I'm with you now. Okay.
Has that helped with your understanding of it?
Yeah. Rather than have it in kind of a jerking motion, you know, with my clutch up. Yeah, I see what I mean. Clutch fully down. I approach the junction. You know, my car stopped. Then I do my observation. At the same time, I do my observation. You know, left, center, right, and so on several times. Then I get my clutch into biting position, revs up. You know, get my foot off the brake pedal essentially, and then commence. Correct?
Yeah. But foot off the brake pedal much earlier than. Because it'd have to be to get the revs on.
Yeah.
So
I would say as soon as I get into biting position, then I take my foot off the brake pedal and then starting revving. Correct?
Sorry to keep.
Or not?
No. I'm sorry to keep. Every time you say something like, no, it's this.
Go on.
But I just want the best for you.
Go on.
Your gas should be on while your clutch is still on the floor.
Okay, fine.
Because if it's come up, that means you're operating the car without gas on.
Okay.
Just clutch alone.
Okay.
In which case the car could struggle,
okay,
or you might not get the revs on in time if the clutch starts lifting.
Okay.
And it could struggle. If it's a busy road, you're certainly not going to get gone with the right amount of speed and conviction
Okay,
as you
then
need
get
to.
in the right order. Fine. Clutch down. As I'm at the stop at the stop lines.
Yeah.
With the brakes pedal still engaged. I'm fully stopped. Then I go with my clutch still fully down.
You might not fully stop. You might be rolling. You imagine an old person walking with a Zimmer frame. How slow would that be? So you might be rolling about this slow, but that's great. That gives you time to set feet and have a look. Sorry.
No. It's fine. So the idea is clutch fully down, slightly operating. What is it? 1/10 of a pence of a pound coin, whatever, with the brake pedal, right? Getting there slowly.
You got it, yeah.
And then I switch from my brake pedal, my right foot, to the gas pedal.
You've got it.
Start revving a bit. Well, obviously not, stuntman style.
Just setting them out.
Set it up, and then once I'm happy, then I start, taking my not off the pedal, off the clutch, but basically lifting my clutch up till I get it to biting point, and then I have them to cement it on the floor. And then whilst at the same time I'm analyzing when I'm happy, release clutch, off. Yeah. Okay. I think we're on the same page, right?
We are. We are. I know it's awkward. I just don't want to let you
No, it's fine.
run with the wrong thing.
No, it's better like this. Better to know what you're doing before you.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, fine.
Do you want help with any of that, or do you want to? Or have you got it?
I think I've got it. Let me try it without your input. If you think I haven't done it properly, we can go to another junction and do that.
Will do. All right then.
Sounds fine. Yeah.
When you're ready, using prepare, observe, move.
Fine.
Remember, keep them fresh.
Yeah.
We're going to take the next road on the right. Just see where that green wheelie bin is down there. Yeah.
Just on the right.
Next road on the right.
So first, oh, it's already on. So biting point.
Is that a gold watch?
It is, yes.
It's very nice.
Yeah, it was a gift from myself for graduating from university.
From myself. I love that.
It's not fully. It's plated.
Is it?
Yeah. No. It's not nothing that flashy, but yeah, it's a nice watch. Thank you. Anyways, so you can see the car coming from behind. So, all right. Now I think I'm good. Now I need to do my observations. So
handbrake.
True. At the same time. So back, front.
Any need for a signal as you release the handbrake?
Well, in this case, I guess because
just lower the bite.
Yeah.
Feel it rumbling there. Right now, there. A lot of people think the signal needs to be on flashing before you get going. What you want to do is just lower the bite so it ain't rumbling there. What you want to do is, because you've decided it's safe to move off there, and it is. Even if her door's opened, you've got loads of room there. So what I would do, you're fully up to date with the road. All you got to consider is her getting out there.
And you want to let her know that I'm going away from the curb.
She's probably just about to open the door. So as the handbrake goes down, the left hand then reaches to the steering wheel, doesn't it?
Okay.
As the left hand goes to the steering wheel, on the indicator.
Okay. Fine.
And drive on as you was gonna. By the time the wheels get moving, she's going to need to know. She's going to know what she needs to know. It doesn't have to be done before you move off. I think doing it that way it messes up the obs and gives a time delay.
Fair enough. Okay.
All right.
Makes sense. So let me just put it back in.
Sorry to interrupt.
No. It's fine. It's better to know.
But you did say to me the other day, didn't you? Don't mess around with you. Tell you what you need to know.
Be straight. Yeah.
Because we've got we're on a deadline, aren't we? Yeah. So. Hand on handbrake, and if you need to signal, bang it on there, but I don't think you need to, do you?
No.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
so it's more of a comfortable way of doing it as well.
Okay. So we're turning right?
Yes please, next road.
Yeah, okay.
On the right. Lovely. Now that feel controlled in second gear.
It was, yeah.
Good visibility on the way in. Good stuff. I'm gonna go on.
The reason I tend to go into first gear, where we're going straight, right?
Yeah, when we reach the end, it's round that bend past the silver Citroen there. We're gonna turn right there.
Okay, fine.
So it's not very far away.
Okay, let me first go into turning right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I'll tell you why I tend to go into first gear and want to go into junction.
Yeah. And your new gear.
Yeah.
Make sure we can hear them. Better though.
Should have been a bit more revs.
Yeah, revs on. Good. So, what do you reckon? Next time, get a few more revs on?
Yeah.
Be assertive. Boom, revs on. If you set too much, fine. You're not got to the bite yet anyway, have you? So you're not going to go anywhere. It's just like sitting here revving in neutral, as good as. It's not, but nothing's going to happen. And the revs are there to be set, aren't they? As well. So a lot of people are like, oh, the noise, it puts me off, but it's an engine. So.
Are you going to wait for me, buddy? Okay.
Take the next road on the right, Doru, please.
Alright. So this one coming up.
Which other mirror would we check? Door mirror.
Well,
That's it.
it would be this one. Let me first put it into second gear and then clutch up.
Okay, fantastic. Good ops there, good turning timing. Along this road, pull up on the left at a safe place, please. We'll just go over. I think there's two things we need to go over.
Okay, fine.
Otherwise, it could get a bit. Is there a better place to park? Do you think? Looking down to the end of the road.
True. Between yeah, I don't want to obstruct the traffic. So just after this black box along my right.
Okay.
So
neutral. Okay, what was it we were saying just there then? I forgot already.
Yeah, so I was going to tell you why I had the tendency of going into first gear when I go into a new junction. It's because it's just subconsciously I would think that I don't want to speed up going into a junction. You know, I don't want to lose control of the car. So for me, it's just going to a new junction at granny speed rather than too much speed. So, like I said, subconsciously I'm just set up to majority of the cases go first gear into a new junction rather than second gear and kind of going woo. You know, even though it might not sound logical to you or anyone else watching this, that's how I, you know, subconsciously that's how I thought. So rather than, even though it's 5 miles an hour, it's just an old habit of mine. That's what I was trying to say. So sometimes second gear would seem a bit fast to me, you see.
Okay. And
at the same time, when I'm in second gear, my concern is by putting the brake, you know, pressing the brake pedal in second gear, I don't want the engine to go off essentially.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
If you see what I mean.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, that makes sense. So it's the way you think about it in your mind, really. So let's think about it like this. Now we're getting into second gear earlier, so the engine braking is slowing us down as we turn, as long as the clutch is up. Now the other thing you can do to make yourself feel more reassured is, so you're going to go second gear, clutch up, aren't you? So your foot's there. When you lift the clutch up, still stay covering the clutch, covering the brake. I mean, you've got early visibility anyway, like we said. That's why we generally use second to turn into roads. As you're looking around, if you see something, first of all, you can press the clutch in a little bit to control speed. It's not going to speed up unless it's downhill. You're only at low pace anyway. Or you can brake clutch down straight into first as you go around. But yeah. So I'm glad to see you using second gear more. It's feeling much smoother, which is going to be much safer as well.
Yeah.
Your obs are fantastic when turning in.
Thank you.
There was something else that we were talking about.
Go on.
It was it when we turned in at the bottom here, or just after, or just before, as we come down that road? I'm sure there was something else that we needed to go over there. There was something you wanted to tell me and you didn't have time.
Yeah, that's exactly why I just told you about me, you know, going to a junction in first gear rather than second gear.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted to say.
Okay. Well, I forgot what I wanted to say, so I'm sure it'll come up. I'm sure it'll come back to me the very second we start moving off.
Fine.
But there you go.
It's fine. It's okay.
The other thing I think that's beneficial for us to do right now that we're stationary, is literally just set the revs as though you are practicing for when you get to this junction at the end here, where we're going to turn right momentarily.
Okay.
All right. So just pop your clutch back down, restart your engine.
Yeah.
Just keep the clutch down because it'll the eco turn off.
Yeah.
And then just with your right foot now, just don't even look at that. Pretend it's not even there.
Yeah.
Because it'll speed you up at your junctions. There, perfect, fine. And you would keep that noise there. Yeah, fine. Come off again and let the revs go back to where it would default sit, about 800 revs, and then set. It could be a bit quicker than that. Don't worry about it. Heavy, a bit more like that, yeah.
Like that?
Yeah.
Fair enough, okay.
You'd be a really good position to move off then. Yeah.
Okay.
If it's too high, just ease off slowly and slightly. So you're still left with 1,002, 1,300, whatever.
Okay.
Even 1,100 is better than 800, which is tick up.
Yeah. So.
All right.
So prepare.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's important.
Fantastic. Yeah, I've remembered what it was. Not checking your right door mirror earlier, but we'll talk about it in a minute.
Okay.
All right. I told you I'd remember as soon as we get going.
We're going right.
Please.
Yeah, fine.
Good stuff with the mirrors there, and your right door mirror. Well done.
So, I'm already in first gear, so there we go.
Fantastic. Lovely. Lovely. Exactly what we were talking about, weren't it? How did that feel and sound? And
it was good.
Different to usual?
Yeah, very different and much better.
Smoother?
Yep. So, how's it coming up? I shouldn't be in the bus stop lane, so I'll go just behind the Jeep.
We can be in the bus stop if we're just in moving traffic, because the bus can't suddenly get there anyway, if that makes sense. As long as we don't park there, that's the thing.
So I would say this is about tarmac and tyres, isn't it?
Yeah, that's great there.
So we're about to move.
So what are you going to set first?
So I'm already in first gear, but yeah, so, oh yeah, I see what you mean, revs.
Revs, lots. There, lovely. Well done. Good. You're making progress really quickly, aren't you?
Hopefully. I am feeling like I'm making progress, to be honest, but don't do anything silly, girl. That was a bit too much.
Bit of a dodgy one, that. Somebody did that to me this morning, you know. They would come out probably about that far over the giveaways, and I had to stop or else. And I think it was because another car had waved them out, and they then weren't looking at me. They went, "Oh yeah, cheers," and then I'm coming like. People just act on.
It is what it is. It's a very generic phrase, but you know, it's very applicable.
Yeah. What's he going to do then? Is he going to reverse again somewhere? Have we got to be wary here? Is he going to stop? No, he's not stopping, is he? So, looks like he's lost.
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling more comfortable than last time.
Fantastic, glad to hear that. It's going to help you in your training here.
Yep.
So, at the end of the road, turn left, please.
First gear. Coming to the...
Look left, look left.
Yeah.
See that gap that you're not using?
Yeah, sure. And now I have a bit of a restricted view.
So what are you going to set first?
So, there you go.
So you know that little roll you had on at the end?
Yeah.
Use that roll to set the feet, balance, look, edge.
Sorry.
Yeah?
I should have gone further up and then change in second gear.
No, the timing was good. It's just that you didn't get your clutch back up. You don't want to leave it too long changing. So.
Now I'm going to give the van some space because you never know. So I might come from.
Yeah.
I didn't signal because there was no one behind me. I checked the mirrors. So
it's good.
If you have any comments, please feel free to talk.
I'm sure people are going to find real value from this week.
Yeah, hopefully. Like I said, your videos are very useful. They make you think, so it's all in good nature.
Yeah, well spotted there.
Yeah.
Like I was saying to you earlier, I'll say for the purpose of the camera now, the pressure's on me as well to get to do the best job possible this week.
It's a challenge for both of us, isn't it?
Well, yeah. So let's see how it goes. Let's see if we get you that pass on Friday. So
hopefully, fingers crossed.
Do you see where the zebra crossings are up ahead?
Yeah, I can see. Yeah.
We're going to take the next road on the right, before the zebra, but after the black Mercedes on the right.
Ah, I see. Okay.
Next road on the right, just after the black Mercedes.
Okay.
So why did you cut the corner slightly then?
Because of the parked car.
Good stuff. Yeah, it's justified sometimes, and you'd be expected.
Oh, that's fine. Okay, I follow.
You'd be expected. No, you'd be expected to in some situations.
Okay,
because if you steer late and there's a car behind you that follows you in, you go wide, it goes on the inside, cuts the corner, then you steer out. You could steer into the car that's followed you in, because they normally would cut the corner and that. So let's take the next road on. Well done. On the left, please.
This one?
Yeah. Just for the purpose of the camera, guys, it's a few potholes what Doru's been steering around. And then I'd like to pull up on the left at a safe place along here, please.
Could probably bring it slightly closer, I would say. Definitely.
It's good enough. It's reasonable.
Neutral.
It's going to be fine on test.
Handbrake.
You can practice getting really close in your own car. Like really close.
Okay.
As close as you want. No, that's all right. That is. If you get slightly more inside of that, fine. I always say, aim for a drain's width, and if you get slightly inside, great. If you aim to get close, you're probably gonna.
Yeah.
You're probably gonna get
Scratch
too
it.
close. Yeah. Right. So.
Any comments?
I mean, you seem to be checking your right door mirror fine. All it is earlier, I saw that you missed a centre and a right for a right turn from a major road to a minor road.
Okay.
So I just thought there might have been a misunderstanding there, but you seem to be checking it. So.
Okay.
So that's fine. We'll leave that. Any reason why you went into just turn them front wipers off?
Yeah.
It's just on the right hand stick, and the rear wiper as well, if you don't mind. Just
0.
That's it.
And we don't need the demistifier. It's off anyway.
Yeah, cool. Any reason why you used first gear for the last turn?
This one, because it was again, I guess it's my old habit. You know, I was talking to you earlier about very narrow street, narrow angle as well. So I would think first gear more control rather than second gear. But I guess you would say that second gear would have been fine.
Yeah, absolutely. First gear was way too slow in the major road.
Because it was also up again. I mean, it was we're going up a hill as well.
You mean as a reason to justify first?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if your clutch is up, the car will carry you up the hill, no matter how steep.
Rather than being up on a hill and then changing and then.
Then there's a risk of rolling backwards. Yes.
Okay, I'm with you.
It depends how you are with your pedals, but.
Because let me just let me just tell you what I think I should have done. So
Yeah.
even though I was in second gear, I could have still be in second gear, slightly on the brake pedal, and then if I thought I would, I would go below the required speed for second gear, I would then put my clutch all the way down.
You've got it.
That's it, isn't it?
You've got it.
Okay.
So let's say we identify that the road's tight. We might then decide to lift the clutch up and change gear into second, and lift the clutch up at 3 car lengths before the turn rather than 2, because the earlier we get the clutch up, the more engine braking, the more control we get, and the more we get to look, assess, decide and act on how we're gonna do the turn.
Okay. Yeah. So
sometimes it's just doing things earlier if it's tighter. Go on, what you're going to say?
No, I understand. So I should have just kept it second gear, brake pedal, and then if I thought that my revs or my engine speed was below the par for second gear, I could have just put my clutch all the way down.
Yeah.
And then, rather than fiddle around with the stick beforehand.
That's right.
Before the junction, I mean.
That's right. Because that transit van that was waiting, if that was me, I'd be thinking,
what is he doing?
What is there something I've missed? And and if there's a car behind you, they wouldn't have expected you to slow down like that.
Okay. Yeah.
If that transit van was badly positioned, maybe you might need that. Maybe you might need to do that. And there is instances where that is necessary to do what you did. But unless there's a real justification there or something out the ordinary.
Now that we're on the subject, I think from my own learning, even though in my head, like I said, I understand that if you see a car in your central mirror coming close to you,
yeah,
not yet at least, I don't actually follow up on the fact that if it's too close to me, then I would probably need to brake, kind of give it a bit more space, so that send a message clear to that driver. You're too close to me.
Yeah,
that's something that I'm very concentrating on my driving. Making sure mirrors, right speed, clutch up, so on.
Yeah.
But that's something that I need to work on now that I think about it. So I don't necessarily take account, even though I can see someone behind me, I don't take account of the distance between that person behind me or that car behind me and the back end of our car.
It's really good feedback there from yourself. I can definitely help you more with that now. I understand where you're at in your head. I wish everybody would do this a bit more. So what we need to do is make your mirror work more meaningful, don't
Sharper.
we? Well, yeah. So just press the brake pedal for me now, about that thick.
There you go.
Just come off it. Even that's probably too much.
Oh, okay.
Even that's too much.
You talked about it in your video, because you can just, even though you slightly pressing. We talked about the previous lesson anyway. The back end light gives them an idea of the fact that, okay, I want to brake, so that they momentarily think, okay, I want to give the guy space.
Yeah. If then we see something in the door mirror, we're not going to turn. we might signal at 8 car lengths rather than 6 as a rough guide. All right, it might be 5, it might be 9 or whatever, as long as, you know, to give people more reaction. So what I might do from now on to make your mirror work more meaningful, I might just say, is there anything close behind you? Is there anything that's a threat behind us? What colour's the car behind? How close? Do we need to give an early warning for any? Is there any risk? Things like that.
Yeah,
to get you thinking about it a bit more.
That sounds good. That sounds good.
All right. So yeah, let's. Any questions from yourself?
No.
So we'll get driving when you're ready.
All right.
Get the bite a little lower next time, but replace that lower bite with more revs.
Okay. Okay.
Did you hear the? Couldn't really hear the revs very well,
no,
but we could hear the vibration from the clutch, or the connection from it, basically. So let's turn right at the crossroads.
Okay.
Well done.
It's a tight angle. I'll just roll slightly forward.
Good observations there.
Yeah, one behind me. Yeah, good to go. I've gone a bit faster, I guess. But I think that will come.
Yeah, no, that was fine. You're doing enough there, really, like you say, to get the feet more in sync. Is going to take practice. The most important thing is you understand it now, and you're remembering to do it. The next thing is it's going to start being more efficient the more you practice it. So that's all good. We've got another 17 hours.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, honestly, there is a progress. Definitely feeling more comfortable after looking at the videos and giving me feedback. Yeah. Good. It's all good. I can see the positives already.
What could the bus do?
Well, you can see someone while it's turning already, right? So I'll give it some space.
Anything overtaking you, centre and right?
That's a good point. I looked into this mirror, the central mirror, but didn't look in the right mirror.
Because if something was already at the side of you, would you see it in your centre?
No.
Not really, no. Unless it was way back at the right. You know, if it positioned early, which it probably wouldn't have. If it's a driver of that nature.
Yeah.
Getting our blue sky back now. At the end of the road, turn right, please.
Okay.
Keep looking right. Right foot. Oh, clutch back on the floor.
And
Right foot first. Now, it's too late now because you could roll back. So you've got to handbrake now, really.
that's true.
So that little roll you've got at the end, set your feet up in here. So revs up, clutch on the floor, revs on first. Now find that little tug. Unless you find that tug, don't release the handbrake. Ignore that.
Okay.
So you've got to keep going, you're in the bus lane. Check your right mirror because the van could be overtaking. Signal right. Okay, really, really important there that you stick to your road. The bus lane sort of curved off into the pavement almost. That could have been dangerous.
That was a bit rusty.
It's a new area, probably thinking about what happened there as well. So what I'm going to do now, I would like it if I could give you some guidance.
Go on.
Because we're going to get there a bit quicker.
Okay, yeah.
Once or twice, but it'll give you some structure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you to some junctions where you're going to be really slow.
Okay.
And you've got to really edge out.
Okay.
Because it'll give us the opportunity, well, it'll make it purposeful.
Yeah, yeah, please, yeah. The harder the better.
Check your left mirror. Check your right mirror. Okay, just keep driving on.
Yeah, I didn't check my left mirror before I zoomed in.
overtake.
Yeah, you can see it in the back.
What's the characteristics of that car? Is it more likely to overtake than some other cars, possibly?
Yeah, because it looks sporty, isn't it?
Okay, yeah. Looks like it's been modified, doesn't it? Let's say.
So, give it a bit more space.
Take the next road on the left. Not this one. This is the school.
Next
Can you
one.
see it just a bit further down?
Yep. So, I have to wait, fella.
Keep the clutch up. Keep the clutch up. Keep the clutch up.
Ah.
Up.
I'd put it down.
So we're going to coast around the corner then. All right, turning right at the end. Clutch down. First
Now
gear.
it's down because it's too.
Set the revs now. Set the revs. Revs. Don't feel like when you set the revs that clutch has to get to bite instantly.
Okay.
You can take your time there.
Good.
Do you see that slow roll we had on the approach to giveaways?
Yeah.
It would allow you as much time as you need to check everything out and prepare as much as needed. Yeah. So any threats behind or anything that could overtake.
Okay.
We're going to take the next road on the right. Can you see it?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
So, go to the middle of the road. Okay, right.
And that clutch is going to stay where?
It is, yeah.
Up, yeah. Stuff. Anything in the mirrors?
Well, I did look before I turned, right?
What about after you turned?
After I turned, I didn't look, no.
Yeah. So keep up to date with it. New road. We've slowed down to turn. Something could have caught up as we're doing that. Come out the driveway or behind us and things like that. So iron out all possibilities.
Thanks for the feedback.
Gonna turn left at the end.
Okay.
So braking, clutch down, first gear, a bit more brake, set revs, more revs, there. Next road on the left please.
Okay.
Keep in first, 'cause we're already in first.
Yeah.
Wouldn't make sense you'd coast and just pick up too much speed here. So there is exceptions. That's why I always use the word generally. So I don't never want to give you the impression it's set in stone, 'cause it's not.
Okay.
Good stuff in the mirrors there. It's important that we're getting them as soon as possible.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Before we speed up, yeah. Because we want to be educated. Every decision we make, we want to be informed.
Yeah, it's good in the long run as well. After passing your driving test.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's turn right at the end of the road. Revs on there, or there.
There you go.
That's good. Now I'm just going to give you a bit of help with the next one,
Okay.
if needed, or if you just go for it yourself, then that's fine. I'll know to just shut the hell up. That's a high fence, isn't it?
Yeah.
Homemade. Fair play. Let's turn left at the end, please.
Okay.
So braking early, that car's quite close. That's it. That's it. Bit slower, bit slower, bit slower, bit slower. That's enough. Off the brake. So you don't want to brake to a complete stop, because you're not at the lines yet.
Yeah. But I thought I would come a bit closer, to be fair. Or you think it's
yeah,
way
but
too close?
if you stop then edge, it doesn't make sense. You might as well control the roll to the point where you can maximise your visibility, as long as you're not past the giveaways. If you edge to that white lines underneath the right door mirror for me now, set your revs first.
Okay, fine. Well,
Just let it roll, that's fine.
Yeah.
If it rolls, you can set up while it's rolling.
I see.
Stop. Yeah. And then you can have a look now that you're in a position to stop. So really, you shouldn't have stopped there and then edge. It makes no sense. The car behind had rear end. You wouldn't expect you to stop there. Stop here, then have a look.
Okay.
But you got to keep looking right and left the whole time, or else you won't know you're not at the lines. Potentially, that's what usually happens.
There's a bus coming at a very high speed, so I'd rather let it pass.
Oh, but
We think that's a bit too slow.
we could have gone. You've got to be setting, and now it's at the bus stop. See what I mean? So you can't be giving up like that. You've got to be
more assertive.
Yeah, you've got to be wanting to go every time. I want to go. I want to get from A to B. I'm late for my interview. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I want to get there. So I want to get there alive. Imagine you want to drive in a business-like fashion. Imagine you are late for an appointment, but there's a police car behind you.
Okay.
So you've got to get
That's
there
a very good
efficiently, because that will make you
At
late.
the same time, in a safe manner.
Yes.
Okay. I'm with you.
You don't get pulled over, do you? So I'd have been prepared there, thinking, right, can I? If you're in doubt, of course don't. But do prepare, don't just,
Yeah.
don't hang your boots up sort of thing. That's enough there, not too slow, clutch back up and off the brake. Bit slow there, we'll go then back. Just under 20-ish, I know it's just, don't brake, just let the car bounce down.
Fair enough.
Check your mirror, any threats behind?
Well, I can see a van coming.
Is this going to turn out behind us, this white one?
It was good. No, it wasn't. I mean, it was flashing to come into.
Okay.
Go like this.
Could this one move off behind us?
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't move
Definitely
because it was signalling that it's stationary, isn't it?
Does that mean it 100% won't?
Okay.
It's worth thinking about though, isn't it? Because that could then move off. I've seen cars move off with their left signal still flashing, hazard still on, because they forget.
Okay.
But all I was doing was tying it into, remember we said about mirror use, thinking about what could be behind us when we get to this junction.
Okay.
The van behind, its driving characteristics, how would you describe it?
Well, it's. I would say it's in a rush because I think it's a typical van man. Where are we going?
Turn left at the end.
Left.
I think it's very safe actually. It's keeping that gap the whole time, even though you've been a bit slower.
Okay.
So we should be okay here. Keep the clutch on the floor. Keep it on the floor. Keep rolling. Keep rolling. Keep rolling. Look left. Look left so you know where you are. Look back right. Don't go if you're unsure.
Yeah.
Because I thought you was going to stop again then, too early.
I was going to do what a lot of drivers do, which is cover traffic and just go with the fan, but
Shield.
Yeah.
It's called shielding. That is, if you do that on your test, you could fail
exactly.
because you're going off somebody else's
It's not correct to do that.
decision. Yeah. Which is very brave indeed.
Brave.
very, very brave.
It's very polite to say brave. Yeah. Fair enough. Anyways.
So, what we need to do at your junctions is, I feel this is the biggest thing at the moment. I think the footwork's getting into place. It's just that you need to keep looking both ways till you get to the line. You need to allow yourself to get to the line using the forwards momentum that you've already got, like you are doing now for your parking.
Okay. Okay.
So it might be worth me just giving you a bit more reminders.
Okay.
Just on those elements.
Yeah, fine.
I normally find that when people stop looking left, they stop the car. If they look left once more, as well as the right, because the traffic normally comes to the right, you should be looking both equally. Any threats behind us?
Nope, nothing behind.
So what do you know about meeting and priorities?
Priorities. Well,
Have you got priority now? Or was it
now
yours?
I definitely have priority. Yeah.
Okay, good. And what about if it's cars both sides, like this situation in front? You know, if something was coming down, it was the same speed as the same distance.
Well, I either have priority. There is no sign whatsoever. I guess it's just I would if I can see that it's an aggressive style kind of driver, then I would probably just give way just to avoid a hazard.
Yeah, makes sense.
But there is no sign indicating who has priority, so it's just a matter of judging the situation at this moment in time. You say that's correct?
Yeah, you've got to judge it and work it out. But you want to work from the basis. I'll just let you concentrate. Clutch back, come in. Okay, fine. You want to work from the basis that nobody's got priority because you're both crossing each other's path to get past.
Yeah. Okay.
And so look at speed. If they're faster, they're probably going to go first. Look if if they're positioned. If they're positioned, they're probably more committed.
I don't want to speed up now. I'm still looking at clear vision like now. There we go.
Does that make sense? So just looking for those things. Where could you see reflections if there was a car coming around the bend?
From that car.
Good stuff.
Or from the, you know, the
Houses.
houses, yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
good.
you.
Any threats behind us in case a car comes and we have to slow down?
I didn't see anything now.
If there was though, you just touching the brake there, that would be a good thing
way
to
of
do.
signaling.
Yeah.
That's a good thing that you keep telling me this, because it will.
I do it all the time, I do. I'm almost controlling the line of traffic behind me. They don't realise I am, but I am. I'm making them think. I'm making them get used to my driving characteristics and stuff. Not that I've thought about it.
Second nature.
Yeah. No, it's easy. It's a lot to drive well. There's a lot of thinking involved.
Yep. I agree.
So I hope this doesn't seem too tedious today doing
No.
this.
Go on.
But I think this is the very foundations of everything that's to come.
I agree.
This is the thing that's mostly overlooked, and I think has been the case with yourself. He's let you progress and get on, but he's missed out loads of core skills that you really could have done with knowing, and just getting before you move, you know, before you go too far. Right, please. Extra brake here, extra. Off.
Ah, too much.
Yeah, we want that Zimmer frame pace at the end, yeah?
Okay. I don't know.
That's good. Clutch on the floor, let it roll. Pedal the foot brake, looking right, left. Set revs, left, right, set revs, keep going, keep looking and go. So if you do all that earlier, which is what I was trying to promote,
I see.
you're going to be prepared at the lines, boom, we're gone. Not preparing as we pass the line, there's a danger in that. You could misprepare, if that's even a word.
Okay.
You could be in third and think it's first, clutch up, stall, oh, but I'm in the middle of the road now. That type of thing. Take the next road on the right, please, Doru.
Okay.
Any potentials behind us?
I can say that.
Fantastic. And has anything followed us in behind or overtaken at the side?
Nope.
It's safe to speed up then to get to speed. Check your left door mirror here and steer left.
Yeah.
You got acres of space there. Keep left. There's no point because this car's going to do the same. So you're positioning to help the road flow there. One thing to be mindful of when positioning more so to the left is picking up crap from the gutter, nails, glass, things like that. So,
Which
you know,
is why I kind of
bear that in mind.
keep away.
But I'd like you to use that a bit more rather than not. They have the road sweepers go around quite regularly, so pick
Pick up all the crap.
yeah, generally.
More revs. I'm waiting for you. How far was inside?
Sorry. So we've got a speed bump coming up. I don't really want you to slow down for it
Okay.
because of the nature of it. There's a car quite close behind. You see it isn't slowing down, which tells me that it doesn't normally slow down.
Okay.
Steer right away from that pothole, back on the gas there. There's hardly anything to it. We don't want him too close behind us to be or her. What could that scooter do?
We could do something silly.
Could do.
So I'm just gonna
What other mirror?
now.
That's one. Apologies if you were going to check that.
No, it's fine.
But I think I already would have at that point, just in preparation for my next task,
Yeah.
next move. steer out really. So you want to know anything's there before you steer out. So that's fine, just there. Because it's a bit steeper than the last one, isn't it? But it's still not like one of them really sharp ones you get in the supermarkets. Them little, they are really bad, they are. They're a first gear job, they are. Good stuff, checking your mirror. Is that because of the bus?
It is as well, yeah. I want to make sure that, you know, there's no one coming up close from behind. So,
is anybody going to pull past this bus at the crossroad?
He might, you know, there might be someone.
Oh, keep going, keep going, keep going. We don't want to be slowing down to look. We just want to be off the gas, covering the pedals as we drive through. Okay. That could be a rear ender right there.
The reason I slowed down is because I know there was no one behind me, but I guess that was too much caution on my behalf.
Yeah, yeah. You just don't want to be in the habit of doing those things, really. Yeah. So all I'd do, I'd think, oh, there's a potential hazard.
I just keep my
off the gas. Yeah. The engine braking will be slowing you as you approach. I'm covering the brake and I'm covering the clutch. If I need to stop, brake, clutch down, bang. But good awareness there, knowing there's nothing behind you and stuff.
Just in case.
So we've got a roundabout coming up at the end of the road.
Okay.
You're going to be alright to do that? Okay. I was going to ask you to turn and keep it to junctions for now, but when I was talking it just overrun me when I should have instructed you.
It's fine.
So, at the roundabout, could you go straight on, second exit?
Okay.
Yeah. What lane are you going to use for that then?
Well, if I'm going straight on, I'm going to use, well, if there are 2 lanes, I'm going to use the left-hand lane.
Yeah. And when are you going to signal then? Because I've never seen you do a roundabout before.
Well, because I'm going straight, I would, as soon as I'm on the, but the thing is, if I'm going straight, I don't need to signal. As soon as I'm coming off, I would signal left.
Okay. So
that's how I would do it.
So if you show me what you'd normally do.
Yeah.
Good mirrors.
It's the first gear job.
Second? Because you could have gone. You see what I mean?
Ah, okay.
So now,
there we go. And now I'm indicating left.
Yeah, that's it.
Checking my mirror.
Excellent timing for the left signal there. Just follow the road ahead around the right bend here.
Okay.
Okay, did you catch the speed limit, Doru? He's 40 on this road, so if you feel you can make progress.
Okay.
Anything overtaking?
Yeah, there's a van. I didn't see the speed limit.
It's alright, he was quite busy as we're coming off that roundabout.
Yeah, I haven't done it in a while, so
it's alright, this is the first faster road we've been on. And we are going to do much more work on the planning and
planning and anticipation, yeah.
Yeah, so don't worry, it's just our first look at that really. So you see where the red lights are?
Yep.
Gonna turn. So let's just take this opportunity to just recap. We've obviously we've got a long session today, so we just took a little break.
Yeah.
On the way down here, we've used a roundabout to get here. Just before that, we was looking at more sort of meeting situations and getting out slightly more on the longer roads, keeping it around 30 and stuff, which I think you did quite well and seemed to be quite comfortable with that.
Yeah, I was quite comfortable. Yeah, I would say.
Yeah.
There's room for improvement, but I felt there was an improvement compared to the first lesson we had. Yeah.
I'd agree. So, roundabouts then. So, what's your? Because I think it's time to start adding a few more in now. How do you feel?
Yeah, definitely.
You're alright with that?
Yeah.
And we're still very aware. We've just been chatting about what we need to do with the junctions and the order in which we do with the feet.
Yeah.
I said to Doru when we weren't recording, I said what's probably happening is, you know, when your left foot starts to lift off the clutch, your right foot might start to lift as well, because the natural reaction is to bring both in sync. But what you want to remember is, just think, because you know your left foot's going to lift up, don't you? Remind yourself to press a bit more on the revs. So
keep it revving,
and more revs as that clutch is lifting. So squeeze more on the gas. Also, I said, because one of your problems at junctions has been what? Looking in terms of observations when we get there?
Yeah, so making sure, you know, I cover all looking fairly, and as soon as I approach, I should be more observant of what's coming from behind me, left, right, center, and so on. So just, you know, coming prepared to the junction. One thing though, else, if you don't mind switching to the roundabout we just did now.
Yeah.
what you correctly pointed out, I didn't spot the speed limit, because I haven't done a roundabout, well, since my last driving test, to be fair. So I was just fully concentrated on, you know, getting through the roundabout, which I did, but I didn't pay attention as I was coming off the roundabout to the speed limit sign, because it was a 40 speed limit, and I was going, as soon as I come off, I was going at 20 miles an hour, and there was a truck behind us. So you correctly pointed out, I mean, you asked me in hope that I did notice, but I didn't. So this is something else that we definitely need to go over in terms of me noticing speed signs.
Okay.
Roundabouts, coming off roundabouts or into junction, which I think I mentioned to you in the first lesson anyways that we had.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay, so going forwards then, shall we get that into the lesson now, the planning aspect of keeping up to speed?
Yeah.
How do you want to do it? Do you want me to first of all point out every single sign that I see, so that you can have an understanding of how many there actually is and where the places that you should be looking for them?
Yeah, that should be a good start. Yeah.
So that'll warm you into it, get you back used to doing it. Now after that, we can then swap, and I can say to you, Doru, let me know every single speed limit sign you see. I want to know if you see a repeater, I want to know where you're seeing them, how far in advance you see them.
Yeah.
If you don't say it, I'll presume you've not seen it, and then I will say, there's a speed limit sign, did you see it, or whatever, and we can identify why you're not spotting them, for example. So remembering that the usually, I think you told me where you usually see new speed limit signs. Where was that?
Well, I would say where I don't see them, as like I said earlier, when I come into a junction or just coming off a roundabout, because I'm fully concentrated on, okay, I don't want to, you know, go from my lane to another lane and, so to speak, cause a hazard or, you know, kind of prevent an accident from happening. So I'm just always fully switched on. Okay, am I in the right lane? Am I coming off? Am I signaling properly as I'm coming off the roundabout or not, or the junction? So I guess for me, it's just getting used to, well, I guess getting more relaxed and more prepared, and at the same time be more observant as I'm coming off roundabout or junction.
To be fair, that's exactly all the things I was thinking. Relax a little bit more on the approach, try not to think about everything as heavily, and look around more. If you're more relaxed, you will be more likely to look around more, and the whole thing will, so all right, so we'll just crack on with that, so you know what you need to do there. What's your understanding of roundabouts? What are they for? Because I'm asking you this because of your choice of gear and approach.
So the reason you have roundabouts, from my knowledge, is that, well, those traffic junctions you probably have several lanes or several roads coming into one. So instead of having traffic lights which would cause traffic, so to speak, you have a roundabout with no traffic lights, so that cars, if they follow the driving laws, so to speak, then they would be able to safely commute or pass the junction, pass the roundabout, and go on their way to wherever they're going. So that's why you need roundabouts. Would you say that's the correct answer?
I would, because the end goal is to keep that traffic that you're talking about
and
moving.
Avoid any traffic jams.
Yeah. So if we give information early enough, which I was very happy with your signal maneuver to exit the roundabout for straight ahead, the timing of everything, then everybody should be in the know early enough to make a decision or decide what to do next, and everything flows quite nicely. So I was happy with that. But on the approach, we're looking to go, aren't we, for that reason?
Yeah.
So we're gonna, and is it an open junction or a closed junction, these roundabouts, generally speaking? Are they designed to be open on the approach or closed?
Yeah, they are designed to be open.
Because you want to keep traffic moving.
Yeah.
So what gear should you select on the approach and get that clutch back up?
Well, now that I think about it, probably second gear.
Fantastic. And you used?
I was using first gear. So as soon as I approached, my instinct reaction, like I said, from my old habit, so to speak, first gear, stop, analyze, rather than keep it fluent, rather than going into second gear. And if it comes to a point where I think there's a lot of traffic coming in, only then, fully stop, clutch down, first gear, observations, and then move off.
Great stuff. So with that said, I think we should go off, start mixing in a few roundabouts, but let's not forget these junctions. Vitally important that we get that. Like I say, I think it's the foundations for everything that follows from here. So, you alright with that as a plan?
Yeah.
Any questions or anything?
No, I think if you could point out to me the speed signs, any signs, so that it gets me in the habit of checking at the correct time as I'm approaching the junction or roundabout, in the middle of it, the whole
you know, traffic around me and so on, and then as I exit a roundabout or coming into a new road or junction, whatever. Yeah, that'll be good. And then moving on, I would tell you, I saw this, I saw that, I didn't, and then you can correct me and say what I didn't see and so on.
Fantastic.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
good. I'm good.
Cool.